And we should be live. Let us see. I think we're live, but we'll go ahead and double check. Yeah, it says we're live, so that's good. Alright, so, hello everyone, Ace here. I hope you are all having a good day. And today we are back with some more Star Wars The High Republic. So, this is the latest issue, just came out on the 15th, if I remember correctly from what I've read. Solon the Lich says, "Let the aids begin." Yes. Yes, Solon knows exactly where this is going to be heading, chances are. So, let's just go ahead and see how terrible today's issue is, shall we?
If it is good, it is going to be a surprise.
Yeah, but given everything that's been up to this point, that would be a miracle. Then again, we are in the Christmas season, so who knows. Anyways. Chapter 2. The Spirit of Disunity. The Nihil have unleashed a terrible weapon on the Jedi. A horror only glimpsed on Grizel in the aftermath of the disaster at the Republic Fair. Jedi Knights are being reduced to crumbling husks. First Loden Greatstorm and now the Bond twins, Tarek and Seret of Starlight Beacon. Avar Kriss believes that Lorna D, mistakenly thought to be the Eye of the Nihil, is behind the attacks and will stop at nothing to bring her to justice. However, cracks are starting to show between the Jedi. Avar increasingly at odds with her old friend, council member Stellan Gios. And all the time, Jedi Knight Kiev Trennis, the sole survival of the Nihil's unknown terror, wonders if she could have done more to save her friends. Seeker says, "Oh boy, this again."
You know, you try to make this dramatic, but I can only remember the jokes and all the crap that has been happening during the readings.
Agreed. Winter's King says, "Why do I keep coming back for these?" Presumably to see just how bad it gets, which is the same reason that I'm pretty much reading them. Anyways, at this point, I just want to complete these to say I completed and read them all. So when I inevitably do my proper review of the entire comic book series, the people that are going to try to defend this won't have the excuse of me of saying that I didn't read all of it. No, I read all of it, and it keeps getting worse.
You know they will have other excuses.
I know, but that is their bit. But the more they try to make excuses, the less valid their position becomes.
That's true.
So there is that. Seeker says masochism. At this point, pretty much. Stefan says, "Merry Christmas. May you get Super Strike Gunner on the SNES. It is a good game." Alright. I'm pretty sure that this is supposed to be Kiev Trennis saying this, so I'm going to voice her. And do you want to voice the red dude?
Okay.
Alright. "I've never seen Avar Kriss looking so tired.
Structural tests are continuing.
It's hardly surprising, considering everything she's gone through the last few weeks. Everything we've all gone through."
However, I am pleased to say that Starlight seems to have made its transfer to the Arian system without incident.
I guess I can voice this dude here. Then work can begin on the relief effort, Maru."
It has already begun, Council Member Gaius.
"We should have known that towing Starlight to Dalna had only been the beginning. Now it seems the Republic and the Jedi Council are determined to send us to the site of every natural disaster on the frontier." I mean, you are peacekeepers.
They they did say even in this timeline that was their job, right?
Yeah,
So why is she surprised?
exactly. It makes no sense to be I mean, I can get it a little bit that they're being sent everywhere, but even then it's kind of, well, you signed up for this.
I mean, they got hit badly, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
but this is still your job.
Yeah.
So if you can do it, you have to do it. Or what? Is she insinuating that one planet or two while we recuperate, it is no big deal. We destroy more with our tests.
That is true. All right. I understand the reasons Iram was recently hit by a continent-wide cyclone that laid waste to the planet. After Dalna, why dispatch rescue teams from Starlight when you can send the entire station? It's why Starlight Beacon exists, to support the Outer Rim in any way possible, to make the frontier feel like a safer place. Excellent work, my friend. Trouble is, that seemed a lot easier a few weeks ago before Zias. Before Lerna D. I'll go ahead and let you voice Avar Chris here.
Okay. We can let her escape. Sir Kiev, help me.
I know this is supposed to be an image from a distance, but that face, man. All their faces.
Well, they got good at one job, doing NPC.
In fact, I'm gonna double check and yep, more face. Yep, even the bottom panel of the first page there, Avar Chris, what they've done to her face is hilarious.
But not surprising.
No, it's not. Winter's King says she's literally just lazy, doesn't like her job. The writers are self-inserting. I mean, given the artwork, I think you might be onto something.
Yeah, but at this point, I think everyone knew that they are self-inserting everywhere.
Yep. Speaking of ugly artwork, look at the next page. The first panel there. What have they done?
It's a face.
What have they done to her face, and what have they done to her hands? It looks like sausage links that are sticking out of a rock, is what her hands look like.
I mean, I am sit at drawing, and I could still do a better job, I think.
I could probably do a better job as well.
I mean, at least we will try.
Winter's King says, what if the NPC faces are the artists subtly criticizing the writing of the story? That would actually be rather interesting, and it's amusing that it would, if it were the case, it would be very amusing. I will give you that. All right, so let's go ahead and let me read Skier here. Marshal, Kiev is in no condition.
He is a Jedi. The Force will provide. The Force will... No!
Do 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 Okay, that's probably going to be a shorts. Curb your force.
I mean, I remember when the Force was space magic that still had rules, not space plot armor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
All right. How many times have I replayed that moment in my head, feeling Avar's anguish, her pain? Avar.
No, we we should been able to stop her. We should have been enough.
Wishing I could have done more.
The good news is that the pumps at the main and Iranian water purification site are already at 45% efficiency. It won't be long until
How many times has she felt the same?
enough. Marcel? It is still her, right?
I think so.
Okay. Your work coordinating the relief effort has been exemplary, Mary. Would we want to know about the ataraxia? Has the path drive been attached to the ship? Well, yes. Jedi Monsi finished the installation this morning. And it is safe to use?
I just want to point out once again, the artwork. I know this is a reoccurring theme already, but my God!
What the hell happened to her chin?
Yeah,
That is a blob.
it's actually impressive just how little effort they put into the art. Also, yeah, you're right. The chin on the bottom there. My God.
I mean, let me put this into perspective, okay? I have said that a few times, I am a writer. I am not good at drawing. However, my sister draws. And she has been drawing for 5, 6 years, 7 maybe. Maybe she could not be as good as the original artists for Star Wars. But if nothing else, she could copy their styles and their quality.
Mm-hmm.
And this is with less than 10 years. These people are supposed to be professionals.
Yeah. And they gave Avar Chris a chin that makes her look like Kirk Douglas.
I don't know if that is an insult right now. Poor guy.
I mean, Kirk Douglas has one hell of a chin.
Yeah, but this is worse.
Yeah, this is worse. Winter's King says, me every time any SJW starts to bring up lore to defend their insanity, do not cite the deep magic to me, which I was there when it was written. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Yeah. Yeah. Exactly that.
Well, they are trying their best to destroy the magic.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you've seen the hotel that they're trying to push now, right?
Oh, yes. Yes, I did.
And they're having discount Kathleen Kennedy self-insert as the captain of the hotel. I still can't believe they even gave her a lazy eye. Because someone screwed up in, I guess, costume design or whatever. But I digress. We're getting off topic there.
Yeah.
This is the path drive that was salvaged from the Nihil spacecraft, destroyed in the Battle of Galov?
The drive that contains the location of the main Nihil base. Yes. Assault can proceed as planned.
Assault? Marshal Chris, I must remind you that the Council has recommended caution.
And must I remind you, Stellan, that time is running out. The Nihil have a weapon that can turn our people to dust. Lorna D is the key to that weapon.
I mean, I'm starting to see issues with this plan. You
No
know
shit.
they have a super weapon. You do not know the full capability of the super weapon, so your plan is to try to charge right into their main base, which will be heavily defended.
Granted, that tactic, technically speaking, has been done in this universe before.
That is true. It hasn't worked very well. I mean, even if you use, for example, the Death Star, or try to use the Death Star as an example, they at least understood, at least the Rebel Alliance made sure they knew about weaknesses of the thing before they actually tried to destroy it.
Yeah, I mean, one example, not the best, in the third movie, is that even if the Death Star was active, their super weapon had to recharge. So, at the worst times, they will lose one capital ship or two and still be able to fight, as bad as it sounds. In this case, you are telling me that they have a weapon that can target every single one of you Jedi, and you're going to charge right at them.
Well, the thing is, you also have to remember with the second Death Star, at least the thing was still under construction, so they were trying to destroy it before it was operational.
Yeah, that too.
But in that case, Imperial intelligence was able to predict their moves and basically set a trap for them, a trap that the rebels still came out ahead in, but with severe losses nevertheless.
And
But
in this case, you are expecting someone to be less intelligent than the Jedi, so they can win. And
also,
the Jedi are idiotic in this comic.
Also, if the drive contains all the locations of the bases, and that's established in the lore, that sets some really weird precedents too, doesn't it? So if, for example, the Empire were to capture a ship during the Civil War, and it just so they knew that this ship was tied to the rebels, they could use its drive to find the locations of the various rebel bases.
Which is automatically bullshit if we consider the original movie, because they capture a Corellian frigate.
Yeah. Why they didn't... Yeah,
Just saying.
Yeah, this is really messing with... This is managing to mess with the lore in ways that I wasn't expecting.
Expect the unexpected. At least with this comic.
Yeah.
Well, don't expect it to be good.
Alright, so... we got some more lines here in the next page for you.
Okay. According to the records found in the Nihal ship, the pirates operate from an area they call No Space. Their base, known as the Great Hull, is a platform protected by vacuum shields and, if intel obtained on Dalna can be believed, recently fortified against attack.
Okay, so they do have intelligence on it, and now they know that it is... that they expect to be attacked potentially. Okay. Interesting. All the more reason for prudence. Maybe if we used one of the captured ships as a scout.
No, the Nihil have repeatedly attacked the Jedi.
You mean they attacked the Republic?
And we must be open in response. Our failure on Xyz proved once and for all that the servants of the light should never lurk in the shadows. We must be better than our enemies. We must sign.
Marshal Chris?
Thank you for your counsel, Master Giles. The Ataraxia will be prepared for launch.
Our failure was Zayas. Everyone knows who failed. Everyone knows that I should have acted instead of hiding like a coward. That I should have been better prepared. I mean, maybe a little bit, although you could argue that she was she even injured, now that I think about it?
I don't remember. I don't remember. Other than the artifact that could mess with the Jedi was used on her. Fuck, I forgot the last number.
Winter's King says, "Isn't it interesting how the Jedi at the height of their power had no idea this threat was coming? No intel until they're literally under attack." Yeah. Especially given that that the High Republic has already been established to be a massive police state where the citizens are expected to spy on the spies.
Well, they have also shown to be incompetent.
That is true. Winter's King says they literally had the Jedi shadows going around and wiping out dark side cults around this time. Yes, the Jedi do use the shadows to hide. Yeah. I mean, even if you take example, it's remember when Master Qui-Gon Jinn tried to get Queen Amidala off of Naboo peacefully by just walking up to the droids and saying, "We're just taking her to Coruscant." Even he tried the diplomatic or maybe a little bit of subterfuge approach before they went, "That does not compute. You're under arrest."
I mean, being underhanded doesn't mean being evil necessarily. Just means being more liberal with how you are going to approach a problem.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and see what's next here. Maybe then Sarah and Tarek might still be with us rather than trapped in a hibernation trance. Hey, can you hear me in there, either of you? I wish we could talk. I'd give anything to make sense out of it. What we saw. What happened to you both. I should have been stronger for you, for us. It's all such a mess now. You, me, Avar. What is that face on this dude here? Seriously, these drawings.
Well, at least in this case, you can see them.
That's true. But I can't tell if the white is supposed to be his eyelids or his actual eyes. Or if the little black bit under that is supposed to be his eyes. It's the drawing is that bad.
I am not going to say it is good, but considering what we have seen in some of these comics, it is okay.
Yep. Master Maru,
Is there any change in the Bond twins?
No, they're alive, just...
Lost. And they are not the only one. Jedi trainees, I need you to watch Marshal Tris.
Watch her?
I fear she is allowing her emotions to govern her path. First her anger, that she was kept from Valo and now this. She is not listening to any of us. She is not listening to the Force.
Maru, I'm flattered you would even trust me with this, especially after everything that happened. But it shouldn't be me you're talking to. It should be Skier. So
Maybe.
he should be talking to the dude who, in the very second issue of this comic book, hacked a Nihil to literal pieces in a blind rage.
I Okay. Are we going to decide if emotions are good or not in this comic? Because we flip-flop from one to the other.
Yep. No one expects, and I mean, if you're talking, it gets even worse, of course, when you're talking about just the High Republic comic books in general, not just this series. You know, no one expects you not to feel the things you feel, Zine. After
Yes.
watching Zine force choke a child.
I could make so many jokes, but no.
Yeah, I know. It's.
I mean, like I said back then, I appreciate that you are not trying to repress everything, but make your mind up.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we continue?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Maybe, but that is not possible.
No, no, it's not. Why isn't it possible? And we both know why.
Chris to Ataraxia. We need to track that ship. Contact our relay stations. Find out where D is hidden.
Marshal, with all due respect, we must get the Bond twins and Kiev back to Starlight. Their injuries.
No, you don't get to advise me what to do, skier. Not anymore.
Avar.
I gave you explicit instructions. Defensive maneuvers only, and yet you could throw that nihil fighter like a rancor that sends blood, butchering everyone in your path. Your actions were not worthy of a Jedi.
Also, that Kirk Douglas chin again is showing.
Yes,
Seriously, how did they make this? How did they try to make this detailed and it still looks so god ugly?
I don't know, man, but they pull it off perfectly. It makes me sick. On
It's
another note, she is cheating him on being angry and impulsive and probably violent. Pot kettle.
yeah, especially after we saw what happened in the very first issue of the series. For Light and Life.
That hurts still.
And I still can't believe they're trying to go the route of saying that Jedi do not kill in self-defense.
So many levels of bullshit.
Yes. Yep. You're right, of course you are. And I can explain.
The time for explanation has passed. Maybe I failed you, Skier. Maybe I was grown to allow things to continue the way they are, the way you are. But for now, you've left me very little choice. Master Skier, your lightsaber, please.
Seriously?
Why? I mean, he has done something bad, okay, in their eyes, here and there. But now, because he killed a few pirates,
In self-defense.
otherwise everyone dies, and you are going to take his lightsaber away. I mean, if you had done this earlier with some of the things he has done, okay. But now it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, earlier when he, like I said, hacked the Nihil to literal pieces in a blind rage in issue 2, if it had happened then yes, I would have perfectly understood that. But here, when all he's done is act in self-defense, makes absolutely zero sense.
I mean, I am going to give in and say that maybe he lost a bit of control, but that is still stretching it.
Yeah.
Also, 1 second, I am being called.
Okay. I'm going to have a quick sneak peek and see just how worse it gets. Yeah. This makes no sense. Winter's King says he died, that's why it isn't possible. Well, not from the way this looks. Winter's King says take one to know one to, I guess. Sounds like it. God, this comic is dry.
Okay, I am back.
All right. Let's go ahead and get to the next page.
Okay, I think it is for me. Thank you. You are heavy relief of our active duties as a Jedi, pending the judgment of the court.
No! No, don't do this! Keeve, you need to rest. This isn't your fight. Keeve! Well, you told her to rest, so...
Well, she's resting. But, I mean, also, this is a bit of an exaggeration.
Yeah.
She's just saying that he's relieved for now, so at least she's not being over the top more than usual, at least.
She's made him go to trial. She's arrested him for daring to act in self-defense.
Yeah, like life itself.
So basically, Avar Kriss is the Binger of the Jedi Order.
Apparently, yes.
Watch her now point a lightsaber at a bunch of kids or something.
I will not be surprised, to be honest.
Just in case, yeah, so why this is a reoccurring theme where Cavan Scott thinks he's clever by trying to reference what appears to be the Rittenhouse trial here is... Well, this is what happens when you try to make everything political. It starts to destroy the lore of what you've created so far, which, admittedly, the High Republic lore was already pretty terrible to begin with. But it also...
I mean, at this point, do you really have to try to destroy it?
Yeah, it kind of destroys itself at this point. The problem is it's destroying the rest of Star Wars along with it.
Well, as we have said more than once, we can always go back to the originals.
Winter's King says, sorry that I seem to be all of the chat today. That's no worries. He also says, I could think of no worse insult than to be compared to Binger. Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to try pretty hard to be worse than the Binger. Mr. Rittenhouse, you play Call of Duty, right? You realize that you were just a few more kills away from getting an airstrike and the destruction that could have wrought on Kenosha?
Overkill. Triple kill. Well, no. Triple no.
To use a Halo reference, does that mean that Rittenhouse got a running riot?
Man.
Okay, enough of the jokes.
No comment on that.
Please, Avar, whatever you think, whatever he's done, we need him. I saw him on the holotapes, killing younglings.
Please, I want to survive, okay?
Okay. I need him. Beep, beep. Not now. Then when? Shum. Did you just use the Force to override my door? Yes, proud of me? No. Liar. You need to go. No, we need to talk. I need to talk. Not to the person who has been hiding away in his chambers ever since he got back, with my master. A master who must do nothing before the council makes its judgment. Why? Because Avar was right. I should have shared what was happening to me, but instead kept it a secret. I was ashamed, scared. I failed you all. I mean, you did fail them all, but not in the way that not in this most recent thing.
I mean, he did a good job as far as I'm concerned. But we are trying to make sense of this comic.
Yeah, you're right. That's a futile point. Then tell me, what's happening? Why can't you trust me, Skier? Why can't you tell me what's wrong? Keeve, I've never trusted anyone more. It's me I can't trust. What's this? They call it Magrek syndrome, a disease peculiar to Trandoshians, rare but potent. Over time, the brain gives in to its base urges, aggression, fury, rage. My mind has been subconsciously dealing with the condition, but the effort required has left you unable to connect with the Force. Is there a cure? Dr. Ginoli says there are a number of possibilities, but there is a chance I may never be able to wield the Force again. For the sake of those around me, all my efforts must be concentrated on maintaining balance. Until then, I am a danger. No, I can't believe that. I won't!
Just to make an incision, this is new, right? This syndrome, this.
Yeah, so they basically gave him space rabies.
I mean, I remember playing Trandosan back in the days when I roleplay and all that. And I am pretty sure in all the lore I found, this was nowhere to be found. Trandosans are just generally violent and cold-blooded. They are lethals. Okay, that was all just...
Yeah, it is something that they've pulled straight out of the rectum, clearly. Winter's King says, seriously, though, I hope the Jedi Council declare this Master Avar Kriss a heretic and have her removed. Thinking it's more of space berserkerness. I mean... you could kind of argue there is a correlation between berserkerness and rabies, but...
Yeah.
I'm not going to go too much further into that, but just saying. You can't give up like this. It's not giving up. It is, and you know it. We strive. We repeat. We succeed. Remember that, Skier? Remember what you taught me? Maru wants me to keep an eye on Avar. Me. Everything I've touched over the last few months has turned to bantha crap. Yes.
So just crap.
Yep. That's not true. Yes, it is actually true, but I digress. I need you on Ataraxia. On the Ataraxia. I need you by my side. You must go. You have a duty. You are a Jedi. Yeah, I am. And I thought you were too. Guess I was wrong. Solon the Lich says, "Be gone, bots." Yeah, there were some bots here trying to spam links or something. Weird that, but I digress. Hub to Atraxia. You are cleared for launch. Oh, that was Maru. Never mind.
Well, let's continue.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maru. Jedi Monsi is the Pathfinder fully integrated.
As far as that pirate junk can be, Marshal.
That pirate junk is going to take us straight to the woman who planned the Balog atrocity and reduced our fellow Jedi to husks.
Yes, Marshal. The engine is standing by.
Kid, I thought for a moment you weren't going to join us.
Wouldn't miss it for all the worlds.
I will understand if you wanted to sit this one out after what happened on 6.
I want to see this through. For Seret and Tarek. And so do I.
Skier,
I know what you're going to say, Marshal. But until the Council decides my fate, I am a Jedi. And I must serve. If you will have me by your side. Or at your side. Yes.
Jedi Keith,
I'll vouch for him, I promise. And if he steps a millimeter out of line, I will gladly knock him on his scaly ass. Oh my god! Has there ever actually been actual profanities in Star Wars before? I am legitimately curious.
well, they used their made-up words.
I know they use made-up words in the lore, but
no
actual...
There has never been a mention of us in Star Wars.
Well, there is an iteration of ass in Star Wars. It's called the entirety of the High Republic lore. The entirety of the High Republic lore is ass.
That is a big ass.
Yes, it is.
You know, what hurts is that, technically speaking, I think the writer wanted to make this, an impactful moment. And you drop this shit on us.
Winter's King says profanity and space racism. This is a fun episode.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what the space racism was, but... Oh, wait! I think I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I can see it. Although, to be fair, anyone can get rabies in real life, and that's why you have to get a vaccine for that. But I digress. She isn't joking.
I know. Everyone, take your positions. We are clearing the Baydax.
This is it.
Acknowledge ataraxia. May the Force be with you.
No going back.
May the Force be with us all. Jedi Monsi, prepare to activate the path drive. On my mark.
I don't know what the future holds.
3, 2, 1.
And I don't know if I'm ready.
Mark.
Whoosh. But I can't let that stop me. So, absolutely nothing happened in this episode, except character moments. Now, granted, the character moment that Skier is suffering from space rabies is a legitimate plot twist, I guess. But
You could have given me any other illness that we knew, like, I don't know, he is suffering from Alzheimer or something, you know? But no, it has to be space rabies.
Yep.
And other than that, the flip-flopping, nothing else of.
Yeah, nothing else. So this was basically a pointless issue.
This is what is known as filler.
And because, of course, we all know that the High Republic needed filler. Also, we now know that we're getting at least 15 issues of this.
And we have a filler episode.
Mm-hmm.
Peak performance.
Kevin Scott does it again.
Just wait, he can do better. I bet he can do better.
Yep, I agree too. So, thoughts on this particular issue overall?
Nothing of value was lost or gained, except time. And the chin.
Yeah. This particular issue was a complete waste of time. Is it the worst issue in the series so far? No, not by a long shot.
Well, in this case, as mostly boring as it has been, except a few jokes here and there, mostly from us, I can read it and survive it. It is not the worst, no.
So, which one would you argue is the best of the High Republic comic book issues?
That is a loaded question.
It is a little bit, but in the absolute dumpster fire that has been the this particular series, which has been the least bad? I'm honestly thinking that this one might have actually been the best issue of the entire series, as atrocious as it is, because it doesn't as thoroughly butcher. Well, no, I will take that back. They're still doing the whole angle of Jedi don't kill in self-defense, so that's still pretty bad. Although it's kind of already was established in a previous issue, so.
I mean, I honestly cannot decide. Mostly because these comics I have survived only because you make me laugh whenever shit hits the fan. Every single one of them is horrible. But yeah, this is the least harmful, if nothing else.
Yeah, this seems to be one of the least harmful. I still think it's obviously bad and a dumpster fire, but
well,
this is
if they could, stop flip-flopping, decide on what is good, what is bad, and stop trying to make new lore out of thin air.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could do something halfway decent. But that is expecting too much, I think.
I think you're right. I think that would be expecting far too much at this point. We are 12 issues in, and I'm hoping that issue 15 is the final issue. Watch this get 10 more issues after that. But
at this point, I have to wonder just how much money are they willing to pour?
a lot, apparently. In fact, it gets even better because now, by the way, remember that hotel?
Yeah.
They're giving an entire comic book series to the hotel.
Why?
And the comic book series is going to start in the High Republic as well. which is apparently when the ship was first built and saw its maiden voyage. Now, I kind of got the hint that they were going to try tying it to the High Republic because they mentioned in that little introduction video that it was built during the Age of Exploration, and that's what they call the High Republic era. So I kind of was expecting them to tie it to that, but giving it an entire comic book series as well is going to be interesting because now we're going to get two dumpster fires just tied to each other.
I think that made it worth it was that phrase. Everything else made me hurt. Why? Why? The hotel is going to lose money to begin with. What are you hoping to accomplish with a comic?
They're hoping to try to promote. They're probably hoping to try to promote the High Republic series while they're at it because this has been a thing that Disney is seriously trying to push. They're also, of course, making a High Republic video game. What was that latest Star Wars game that was announced? Star Wars Eclipse, I think.
Yeah.
That is set in the High Republic era.
No surprise.
You know, it's weird, but I was actually seriously thinking about making a video talking about this, but for the first time ever, I'm going to have to say something that I never thought I'd have. Well, for the first time, I'm going to have to make a very specific argument that I never in a million years thought I was going to have to make, but here we are. Star Wars Eclipse should just completely ignore the established lore of the High Republic era. They should basically do their best to pretend that everything written about the High Republic so far does not exist.
I mean, I think we have mentioned this before, or at least I am pretty sure I did. When I say that I hate this universe. But if it had no connection to the universe we already know, I could at least tolerate it.
It's the fact that it's Star Wars that makes it all the more atrocious.
Well, yeah, I mean, will it be so hard to make this universe its own thing with no connections and make some people happy and, well, I was going to say fanatic over it as we are. But with the quality, I don't think so. But at least enjoy it without harming the original.
At least that's the problem, though. You have all these idiots that are sitting there going, "But the chart says," and we need to tie it to a popular brand name that everyone is familiar with, rather than actually try to take the risk to create something new and unique.
I want to say that, excuse me, but this last decade has been tying things that are already popular to new things that are shit.
Agreed.
And all you have done these last 10 years and more is lose money.
Mm-hmm.
All the money. And I am making it sound silly, but holy hell. They have been losing millions, if not billions, at this point.
Well, look at the bright side. Eventually, Disney's going to run out of money. Either they're going to run out of money, or they're going to come to their senses, realize that they screwed up, and try to fix the whole mess. Either way, though, they still end up... Either way, this current drive of woke nonsense is just going to go by the wayside. It'll eventually have to. It is not sustainable. It might take years, but it is going to collapse regardless.
I mean, what haven't we lost? Manga? Because everything else? is going to hell. Every single comic, every single movie, every series that is being touched by this is dying. There is nothing or almost nothing left.
Well, once the woke crowd basically causes themselves to collapse their own industries out of a job, basically once they force places like Disney to either fire them or just cause Disney itself to shutter, then you have all these IPs that'll be freed up, and then people that actually know what the hell they're doing can maybe have a crack at it.
Well, let's hope that happens soon.
Yeah.
I mean, I I can't help but look back to things like Naturgirl from the X-Men and wonder where the fuck is this going?
We're actually also starting to see some indie games, of course, starting to take over and just simply outperform. When it comes to video games, for example, you're seeing indie games that are starting to outperform the AAA market, partially because of the AAA market kind of being inseparable from wokeness at this point for the most part. Whereas with indie games, well, there are some woke people trying to get into the indie market, but there's also people that are pretty base that are in the indie market.
Hey, I am going to give credit where credit is due. I have seen some woke games that are indie that, if nothing else, they don't make me puke.
That is
They might
correct.
not be my cup of tea, but at least these people try to do something. Some of them.
I have seen that in one or two cases, and at least those cases tend to be new IP. So, yeah, there are one or two cases. Although I still think that if those people weren't woke, then their games would probably be even better. But and the problem is, here's the thing: wokeness results in a mindset that you have to prioritize the politics over artistic quality or overall artistic or entertainment quality. So obviously that means the work is inevitably going to suffer in at least a little bit in some of those regards when you have someone that's woke trying to work on it, because that's just how the ideology works. Solon the Lich says, and once again, shots are aimed at the lightsaber. Yeah, that seems to be a recurring theme here. Solon says, when it's not your money and nobody checks your agenda, you can fail upwards until you get bored of being praised by the fart sniffers. I almost said flat earthers, but basically, let's be honest at this point, the social justice movement are the flat earthers of, well, civil rights. They're the flat earthers of civil rights.
I can't believe I am going to say this, but you are insulting the flat earthers at this point. I think they have a limit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, at least the flat earthers, right? Yeah, you can. Yeah, obviously they're not really right on that position. I mean, but at least they aren't deliberately trying to contact people's businesses and get them fired just because they disagree with them.
The world is round. Kill them. I mean, it is an exaggeration, but not by much at this point.
Winter's King says they've already paid for all of it. It won't stop until it thoroughly fails.
More?
Well, I think we are actually seeing it thoroughly fail, and Disney is just trying to bullheadedly continue and just try to accept the losses and hope that it eventually gets good.
I mean, Disney. I watched the movie Encanto, the a month ago. You know, it was a movie that I am not going to say it is the best that Disney has ever made, but it was a nice movie. I watched it on a cinema that made money to Disney. Yet they didn't give the movie 2 months before placing it on Disney Plus. Why? Why do you do that with a good movie Yet you make shit and try to force everyone to pay for it.
Well, it seems to me like the reason why they're trying to do that is I think that cinema is actually, thanks to recent events, cinema is actually going on the way out. So they're now
Yeah,
trying to swap to streaming instead.
yeah, it's possible, but still,
Which
if the
suggest
market is if the market is still open, and it was going to likely give them a lot of money, why do that to a good movie or a good IP in general?
good point. Good point. All right. Well, ultimately though, so I think we've been going on a little bit of a tangent here. So let's go back to High Republic here.
It was the anger.
Yeah, I know. So ultimately, which would you say is worse, the High Republic comic book series or the High Republic Adventures comic book series after this issue?
I'm thinking. Uh, I think I dislike adventures a bit more. But
I think you're right. I think Adventures is slightly worse, but this is still atrocious.
I mean, I will not recommend paying for these comics. Reading it, probably not.
Yeah, same here.
But if you have them for free and you want to see what the hell happened, you can read it.
All right, so let's read some of the comments here before we go. William says, "Well, here's a twist. We were so focused on Skier edging to the dark side, we never suspected another Jedi would switch roles with him. Wonder if Avar knows the Council asks Keeved to spy on her." And, Conberger says, "And that's it. Everything is going to blow up in her face. I'm not ready, and I love Avar. She has been my favorite High Republic character since the beginning." So these people are actually legitimately upset at this plot twist.
Uh, Either that, or we have to thank the the fact that this is written, because I am not sure anyone could deliver these lines with any kind of emotion. And
Kidneys.
do,
Oh,
do they really like this comic?
I really wonder. So Kidneys says, "Skier looks so sad. Please, no, I just want to give the big old lizard man a hug and tell him everything is going to be... Dude, have you seen the artwork in this comic book series? Are you really capable of telling what kind of emotions effectively a person is having in this comic book series? Are you really able to tell what Skier is thinking in on the first panel of page 20?
The only reason we know they have emotions is because they don't shut up about it.
Yep. All right. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and, I guess, call it the stream. I know we've been at it for about an hour or so. But yes, obviously, do not read this comic. It is a dumpster fire. So is pretty much everything that is High Republic related so far. But this is one of the worst dumpster fires. The fact that the comic book series that was dedicated specifically to saying that the ivory trade was bad is somehow the best of the High Republic comic book series really shows you just how... really just shows you where the bar is set.
Well, don't forget, ivory trade is bad. You cannot take anything from any culture ever. No, I am
Museums are...
going to
yeah, museums are theft, man.
I was going to go down a spiral that I am going to shut up now.
All right, so we'll go ahead and, like I said, call it. So Yeah, in any case, this has been Ace,
And this has been Uros.
and we both hope to see you again soon. Until then, take care.